Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff. Welcome to the Daily Scan. It's Thursday, July 10th, 2014. Status report was yesterday, and the FOMC minutes was yesterday, and I believe that QE is scheduled to end in October. From what I was reading, I didn't actually read this itself, but it is scheduled to end in October. The market didn't particularly like it. I'm just not sure exactly how the U.S. government is going to fund their debt, or their deficit, I guess you should say. I guess they're hoping to sell enough bonds. I think they're going to have to raise the yield. I think they're going to have to raise the yield, which is going to knock the price down. I believe that's what happens. Today we have jobless claims. And is there anything down on the bottom here? No. Nothing in the afternoon. So we will have that 300,000 number is going to come out again this week. And everybody's going to go, oh, things are looking good. Well, they're not. They could look worse. Well, yeah, they could always look worse. Oh, yeah. Okay, Asia is mixed to a slightly bearish. Europe is bearish across the board and pretty heavily. So I think there's concern about the Mideast, including now Israel, because I think there's going to be at least some sort of small-scale war going on there, I think. Sure looks like it anyway. I just wish things would settle down. I'm sure we all do. But anyway, things change, and sometimes it can be painful. Speaking of pain, we get some pain here in the futures. This is a significant gap down for our open today, which with all this positive delta here is going to be a big ouch on the account. We're struggling on most of our bearish positions here, or bullish positions, I should say. I'm so used to being mostly negative delta, and now I'm positive delta, and then we have this happen. Also, looking at gold, we're at 1820 up overnight, at 1.37% there. Silver is looking good, and oil is down to 101. Can you imagine? Go and fill up my spare gas cans today, I think. Gas should be down probably another 10 cents or so, I would think. And I don't understand what goes on with the bonds, so don't even, I'm not even going to waste anybody's time covering that. Alright, so yesterday I jumped in on, let's take a look here. Take a look at them exactly. Jumped in on, that one expired. Amazon expired. I couldn't get in on that one, which is probably, well, they were puts. So that's probably a good thing. Sold CELG and covered my Costco and got some rejections and did a little SPX yesterday as well. So we will cover those as we go through the list. There, I had to clear my throat, sorry. Alright, let's start out with Apple. Bring up our analyze risk profile. We don't have anything going with Apple. We have a target down here. Still waiting to see if it's going to come down there and give us an entry. Amazon. We're in Amazon. And we have been for a while. Hopefully it'll work out for us here. We actually had a secondary entry opportunity, and I may have tried to do that, and I don't think I got my order to execute. So for today, this now is an alertable trade, but I doubt very much that it's going to give us any sort of alert looking at the way the market is opening today. But we'll do our job anyway. My guess is we may have a fair amount of alertable trades today that will not alert. Alright, BIDU. This also is now alertable. Almost tempted just to wait from now on these 50 deltas until they end up alertable as being green, and now we want the price to move above the previous day's high, and it's probably not going to do that. See, now Alcoa had good earnings, and the stock made a real nice move. Alcoa, the bellwether of the earnings season, as they say, but earnings is always hindsight. You know, there is something about their guidance, but they can't tell the future either. So all they can do is look at the past to determine what they think their future is going to be, which is what we do too. And hopefully just being right most of the time. All right, CELG. We went in yesterday with a 50 delta. I didn't even mark it. Are you kidding me? Oh, this one happened just before the close, so I didn't put it on here. We are at 88, which is just short of, I'll mark it later, but just short here of the high yesterday. So it's like, yeah, it's going to push up above that in the next couple of days, and it might. It may ignore what's going on in the market. Who knows? We'll find out later, but I'll mark it later. Chipotle. We get a bunch of stuff here. So we are in this week yet, and we're in here yesterday with a 20 delta at the 560 level. And that expires, it's a July 5, or it's July 4, sorry about that. We have this July 2 out here yet. Costco. Alright, we have. Okay, so I was in here with a 20 delta where we collected 20 cents in credit, and I bailed yesterday on it, which may have been stupid, may have been. This is looking pretty freaky here. So I bailed and took, cost me 44 cents to get out of it, so lost 24 cents on that one. And there was 5 of those. So that may have been a hasty decision, but I did it anyway. Alright, CVX. We actually have an alertable 20 delta here on CVX. So above the high from yesterday, so I'll throw an alert on this one too. And you can do what you wish with that at 20 or 50 delta should it fire off. It is not a valid 50 delta because we failed to get to even 70 with our green line here. So if you're going to do anything with this, do it as a 20 delta. Take a look at the Dow DJX. We're going to open down this morning We're going to open down 167. Yeah, possibly down here. We're going to have a big gap on this today. Gold, a big gap going up today. So our cost basis is 126.22. I would be willing to bet that we are going to gap way up here. In which case, I don't think there's any possibility of rolling this thing. It might be too late. Yesterday, maybe could have rolled it up a tad, maybe up $1 or so, because we collected 52 cents on it, and it's now worth 33. But today, I'm sure it's going to be pumped up and possibly even higher than what we collected on it. Google, here's our little iron condor on Google. We actually got a tad above it. Are we down this morning? It must be down. It's 583, 575. Yeah, see the bid ask here is down quite a bit from the close yesterday. But it was feeling pretty smug yesterday as this moved into the money portion of this iron condor. Fake that it is, simulated. Just for fun, just to see what would happen. Did it on this candle here. And then this happened and I went, oh. But we'll see how it ends up at the end of the week. Do we see anything else? Well, yeah, we're going to put it on our setup list. No, we don't. Yeah, it's going on a setup list. It qualifies above 70, below 30. It's a weak qualification, but a qualification nonetheless. Alrighty, LinkedIn. Alright, we're doing here. Our only negative delta. And we're going to, collect a whole 40 cents off of that. So LinkedIn, is that the one that's only no, I have that in a couple of accounts. So there's actually 4 positions on that. I'm going to fix that chart. Pretty fast, aren't I? So yes, we have 4 there. So that's $160 to help make up for what may be a $700 or $800 or even $1,000 loss this week. If I don't know what I'm going to do today. If I'm just going to bail on everything or what. All right, we have a sit up on 3M yet still. I think that we had them on our list yesterday. Yes, we did. And it's still on our list for today. Moving right along, NDX. Okay, well, trying to get a little bit of a hook here yesterday. I was watching this and says, "You're going to turn green or not?" And it didn't. And it's rolling over here. So, probably nothing's going to happen there. But I'm going to leave them on the setup list for today anyway, for a 20 delta. We'll see what happens. I doubt that this opening here is going to turn around, but stranger things have happened. Yes, they have. All right, we have a setup here on Netflix for a 50 delta. Nice, clean, smooth line. Smooth up, smooth down, a little hook. Just didn't quite give it to us on the MACD. Alright, confirmation. We were waiting for confirmation. Priceline, I wonder what it's going to do. We're over here with a 20 delta. Let me fix this picture here and see exactly what it was, what we did with that one. Alright, we collected 35 cents on that. And that's a pretty long-term trade. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, it's going to be a while before we can actually really get any good money out of that one. Let's go back here. So where are we at right now with Priceline? Fortunately, we got our Greeks so we can kind of get an idea. We're up a whole $26.20. Why did we lose money yesterday? Pre-market, the P&L for the day can be goofy. Of course, we could lose 90 on it today. Who knows? Alright. It's going to be ugly. Alright, Russell. Yeah. Do you have the guts to go for go long here? Is my note. Yeah. Well, we'll see. That was for this week too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. There's a 20 delta with an expiration of this week. So we'll see how that one works out. But for right now, technically speaking, we have a rollover here on the 20 EMA. Technically speaking, we are in a setup for a 20 delta. So we'll write it down. Okay, SPX, we jumped in on that yesterday and we actually were able to pull a little bit of money out of it. We have July 4s, and we were looking to do some July 2s here. Let's see how this little iron condor is doing. Our little simulated iron condor actually is up $40, rounded off. And that was just one of them. Yeah. Well, from a chart perspective, we are live here with 3 that we jumped in on yesterday at 80 cents credit. This is just a 2.5 week trade here. We'll see how it works out. So we've already gotten in. We got in off of our signal yesterday. So we're going to see how that works out for us. See how bad it is today. Alright, I'm going to shut these off. There we go. Now this is our live trade. Okay. TLT should work out well for us because we're probably going to get a little bit of a gap up here. Collected 15 cents on it. This is not a big payoff, but usually successful. Usually. So keep an eye on that one. No new entries. We would have a new target down here. There we go. Alright. Tesla. Tesla. We were looking at some trades here. I didn't do one yesterday. When I looked at it, I wasn't real happy with what was going on with this lateral movement here. So I just took a pass on it. Blew off this particular trade. I was looking at a couple of possibilities, and they were not good ones in my mind. And the reason why is the price was in between where I wanted to go. So no 50 delta on Tesla for yesterday, and Lastly is Visa. Nothing going there. Waiting for it to come down and give us an entry. So slide this over a little bit, and that's marked for 50 delta. The earnings coming up. Earnings all over the place. Alright, here we're looking at the futures. They're still looking a little suppressed, depressed, however you want to call it. And gold is still doing well. Okay, so that's it for today, fellow option traders. Should be an interesting day, especially if you have a lot of negative delta. Unless you're like me with all this positive delta, we'll see how it works out. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.